Here are your 2 minutes of pro football history presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It took decades, but eventually the position got a name: tight end. Many myths exist about the position of tight end, but it can be traced back to the introduction of a three-end offense that surfaced in the NFL in the 1930s. But, believe it or not, the position of tight end wasn't really distinguished until the 1960s. Some of the players of that era, such as the Chicago Bears' Mike Ditka, Ron Kramer of the Green Bay Packers and Detroit Lions, and John Mackey of the Baltimore Colts, helped put the position in the limelight. All of them were solid blockers, which up to that time was the key skill needed for the position. But they also added a new element by combining pass-catching skills that made them an integral part of their team's offensive attacks. By the end of the 60s, the tight end was finally recognized when it was included as a position on the NFL's 50th anniversary team. The honor as the best tight end in the league's first 50 years went to Mackey. It took 2 more decades before the selection committee for the Pro Football Hall of Fame recognized the position. In 1988, Ditka became the first tight end elected to the Hall of Fame. More tight ends have followed, including Mackey, who was enshrined in 1992, Jackie Smith in 1994, Kellen Winslow a year later, Ozzie Newsome in 1999, Dave Casper in 2002, and Charlie Sanders in 2007. The tight end position has evolved over time. Players like Newsome and Winslow became deep threats. Today's prototype tight end is no longer just a blocker and short yardage receiver, but combines size, speed, and hands. There was perhaps no better example of this than Shannon Sharpe, who racked up reception totals that rivaled the most skilled wide receivers during his career that spanned from the 1990s into the mid-2000s. He retired from the game with record career totals for receptions, yards, and touchdowns by a tight end. His contribution to the game was recognized when he recently became the 8th tight end to be elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And there are your 2 minutes of pro football history presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.